Welcome to the Destination Morocco podcast, the show that takes you away to the beautiful country of Morocco. I am your host, Azadine El Mustakim. In each episode, we explore Moroccan culture, history, attractions, and activities. Real and practical information coming from experienced travelers and native Moroccans like myself. And now, let's go exploring. Welcome back to another amazing episode of Destination Morocco podcast. In today's episode, we have Sam and Siham. If you remember Siham, she was a guest exactly a year ago. March 1st, 2023, we have published her episode, Henna and the Strength of Moroccan Women. So, Siham, Sam, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you very much.
Hello, thank you.
Appreciate.
Okay, we're gonna dive right in. Today's episode, we're talking about some really some serious issues when it comes to dangerous scams in Morocco, and there's so many of them. We'll try to talk about some that are really bad, and they happen throughout the year. And anywhere in Morocco, you can be exposed to these scams, and you can actually be a victim of these scams. So the first question that I have, it's about a scam targeting sentimental and sexual exploitation towards travelers. Solo travelers, female travelers, even men traveling. And it's pretty bad in Morocco, actually, when you look deep into it, if you notice it. So I'm going to start with Siham. When we talked about this topic a few days ago, you shared some painful stories with me. It made me feel terrible, and we cannot keep this information to ourselves. It had to be shared. Siham, can you share a story of this happening, and how does this scam really start and can be prevented, please?
Okay, first of all, thank you so much for having me here today and giving me the opportunity to speak about this very important topic. So, by the time that you first suggested and asked me for recording with you about scams in Marrakesh, from the first things that came to my mind is that because not a lot of people knows about it or talk about it. So I see that it's very important and it's quite big, even we don't talk about it. So I just wanted to highlight it for today and maybe start the episode talking about this topic. And as you said, it is about scams that targeting sentimental and sexual exploitation. It could be towards women or men. And during my job, I'm meeting a lot of travelers, whether it's in group or travelers and especially female travelers. As a woman, of course, this is something made me very angry and sometimes sad. So I really would love to share this, and I appreciate that you're giving me that opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. You're most welcome, Siam.
So let's talk
Yes,
about
please.
how it happens before giving some few examples. Of course, I'm saying few because I know a lot of them. It's just crazy. So I would definitely start talking about the Medina. When I'm talking about the Medina, it starts from the airport pickup and the drivers back to the city. We're talking about cafes or restaurants, about waiters, bodyguards at the entries, sellers in shops, in the markets. It could happen everywhere. I'm going to speak about women mostly because these are maybe for those guys are the easiest to catch, right?
Yeah.
So especially when it comes to someone that looks like a little naive or visiting Morocco for the first time, someone that's mostly like the age could be also a sign, like for women that are a little over like 40 or 50. So it always starting with being very nice and sweet and invitations mostly. The invitations would be like a tea or like, okay, invite you for a coffee for the afternoon. After being so sweet, sometimes offering like small gifts in the stores, for example, like selling jewelry or clothes or whatever. It could be a little scarf or anything that end up by an invitation. And if the clients or the visitor is accepting the invitation, then it starts to be like talking about the city, things like that, start to talk about the family, and most of them, most of the stories I've heard is always about victimizing themselves, like they're always the hero coming from I don't know, villages very far. They're supporting family, and I mean, this is typical in Morocco. This is our culture. It's real.
Yeah.
It's not a lie. I mean, we are all doing that. I mean, all
Yeah.
Moroccans, we do that. We're supporting our families. Everybody here, almost everybody, having a hard time because it's not easy. Life is not easy. We're all working hard, but for someone visiting Morocco for the first time and don't know a lot about the culture, they would see this as a hero. This person is already as a hero.
Yeah.
So if this is a hero, then for sure all Moroccans are heroes because all of us are doing the same thing. But of course, it's always about sad stories. My mom is sick. My father is this. That makes that person like look at you as a very nice, sweet person that's sacrificing for many others,
Hmm.
and always they are with small salary and rent in a room with the friends, always like that very bad and difficult life that makes that person feel sorry and sad and emotionally wants to support or help
Help.
somehow,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
Even that starts with buying stuff from you. Of course, this definitely is going to be overpriced sometimes, a lot, but most of the cases that I saw, these guys that just can know somehow, I think it's the experience. They can know the people that maybe look a little bit rich
Hmm.
or very rich, so they will never waste their time with someone that not showing that has money, right?
I see.
Yes.
Okay, so basically, if I may ask you a question, Siham, so when this scam is unfolding, it's happening, the person basically is qualifying the tourist or the traveler, making sure they have money, they have, they're a really
Definitely.
good target audience for them.
Definitely. Yes,
Okay.
that's more. Even in a very weird way, they can, I think they smell in that, they know the criteria. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
they know what they want and they know how to get what they want. So how a
Yeah.
tourist can understand this? They will never understand. You will
Mm.
never understand. They would always look very sweet, innocent. I mean, just nice soul. That's what you're
Yeah.
gonna know about that person. But of course, the coming next is different. So the first thing is can happen is using you as a woman. Now specifically talking about women. So after an invitation or two invitations, after 1 or 2 nights in Marrakesh, you're gonna be invited to the apartment, whatever it is. So if this happened, then it's going to start to be a kind of a love and another story of,
Mhm.
okay, you're the woman, I was dreaming about you, another life, whatever, things like that, like
I
making a
see.
very romantic movie. The women that are really like, I don't know, a divorced woman, a single woman, women with a little special social cases, they would
Yeah.
start to believe it.
Mhm.
Sometimes, they also can feel this because they would ask you a question: are you married, do you have kids? So
Yeah.
they know your situation, so they know also the way how to
To approach you.
exactly.
Mm.
It's taken always time, but after that, the women or guests or clients leave Morocco, they always keep in touch. Like that's the second stage, like keeping in touch, messages, WhatsApp, or I mean, social media in general, flowing each other, and always the stories and the emotions and all this thing, they make it just like look like real and a big thing,
Mm.
and then the stories, the sad stories, come in next, like
Yeah.
I don't know, a catastrophe, that mother that needs a surgery, that store that whatever is, I don't know, like creating a sad story in the middle so that person would feel like, oh, I feel sorry of him, he's struggling, whatever, I want to help.
Yeah.
So the help, of course, it's always financial, like
Mm.
money. So
Yeah.
there it starts all this scam, because if that person is going to send even a $50, let's say, as a little help of a little thing, if it happened, then that person would know that you're ready to do that. So
Yeah.
there the stories were gonna get bigger and bigger. Yeah.
They will continue basically.
Continue, and it's
Mm.
getting to more depending of that person. I mean, if they feel like you have some money to give, they're going to ask about get help, 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 and creating stories. If they feel that someone are like a very rich person or have a lot of money, maybe the thing can change to a business. Like, I want to
I
make the
see.
business bigger, so the money or the sum of money will be bigger. Of course, a lot of people got very bad scams in terms of businesses, like losing their money for a business that never become true, or sometimes like buying cars, or a camp in the desert, a hotel.
Mm.
These things
Yeah.
needs a lot of money. So a lot of people are just were victims of scams like that from people that they just knew this way. Yeah.
So these scams, they don't happen overnight. We're talking in period of 3 months, sometimes 6 months. So it's a long term and it's a long distance, back and forth and back and forth.
So
Yes.
I'm going to talk about a friend of me that she was at the first, I met her as a client. I am an Airbnb host. I am an entrepreneur. I organize many activities for tourists, from tours to whatever it is. So I'm meeting a lot of tons of people. This friend, her name was Amy. Amy was a guest at the first of my Airbnb apartment. And, I'm always like, when I have free time, I always welcome my guests on tea, we talk. So I started to know her more. So she was coming regularly to Morocco. Like it was like maybe second or the third time that she came, and because she liked the stay, she always booking with me. So at the second or third time, I was asking her why she's coming regularly to Morocco. Why she's American. I mean, she lives very far. And then she started to talk about her love story with someone. Well, at that time, she was about 65 or 64, 65 years old. So she started to talk about someone that she met in the desert. When she met him, she was like 57, I think. He was 20 or 21. So he was much, much younger. He was someone working in the desert in a camp. And this is a common scam also. The time after dinner, it's typically known in the desert that all the guests will go or sit around the camping fire,
Yes.
playing drums and things like
Hmm.
that. So
Yes.
this is exactly the moment of the biggest scam, which is fishing. I would call it fishing. Fishing the whatever the most beautiful or the most rich person or women
Mm.
mostly on the in the camp.
In the
Okay,
camp. Mm.
yeah.
Okay.
So this is always the analyze the guests around. So he was inviting her to see after the show to see the stars on the highest dune in the desert. That it's super dark, and because of the darkness, they can see the stars and
Yeah.
how beautiful it is. And so this is a very typical story. Now it's now like everybody knows, and even now it's like a joke of
Yeah.
people taking. Oh, I'm gonna take her to see the stars. Means something.
Yeah.
So he was inviting her, and of course it happens. She liked him. She was saying that she loves him. He's younger than her youngest son.
Oh wow.
He is younger than her youngest son,
Wow.
but she fell in love with him. He was a super smart guy. I call him smart. It's not a nice way, it's a bad way. So,
Mm.
that guy, as I said before, the stories about his family, that he did not go school because he had to work hard and support the family, while
Mm.
she was really believing in them. You won't
Yeah.
see her telling me those stories. Her eyes were shining. She was talking about the
Oh
hero.
wow.
Okay,
Wow.
so she was like really in love with him. So she was always telling me if I have work, because he was a driver. She was saying to me, if you have any clients, please provide him. He needs work. And she would start to talk about his stories and travels and whatever. There was a truck or something in the farm that fell on his back. It broke his
Mm.
back. So now he cannot do something like physically, like
Yeah.
hard. So that's why he can only drive.
I see.
Well, at the end of the things, I don't want to talk about more details, but she decided to buy him a car, a 4x4 car to work in the desert because he cannot do any other thing and he's struggling in the camp, wherever. So she bought him the car, and his first present for her was taking her on a very big tour in Morocco. And she was telling me that she has like the biggest dream achieved in Morocco with someone she loved. She was happy. That's it, how it started. So she loved all the things that she was coming regularly to meet him, to spend time. Every time she was there, I mean, I was seeing this because we became friends. She was telling me almost everything. So I was always feeling that he was using her, like in every month, almost sometimes like twice per month she would send him money because he's always having problems. His family always in needs. The car is always broken. I mean, all the reasons on the earth he was giving her to send money, money, money. So I was meeting Amy for like 4 or 5 years that she was regularly coming. In some
Oh
few
wow.
times she stayed for a month, for 2 months she was renting the apartment saying to be close to see him and things like that.
Mm.
2019, that was before the COVID, the pandemic, like few months before, she was here in Morocco. And at that time she was telling me that he was like he changed
Yeah.
toward her. He's not that sweet, that she doesn't feel like loved anymore. And I was just asking like why and things like that. So she was telling me that he is asking about money, about again the car is broken, but she doesn't believe it's broken,
Mm.
and she
I see.
refused to give him money. So he turned to be like rude sometimes.
Mm.
And then, I mean, it was going like back and forth for a few weeks because I was
Mm.
meeting her a lot in the apartment. And then one day she was crying because of this, and she was like missing him, but he was refusing to meet her, of course, because he did
Mm.
not get the money as he used to. Then she said to me, I don't know what to do. And she needed my advices. For the first time, I was asked for to give an advice. I was all the time feeling that, but she was not feeling that.
Mm.
He has been using her for all the years. It was over 10 years,
Oh wow.
the total, between she met him to the pandemic, by the way. So I asked her, okay, I can give you a little advice. I said, tell him that you, for any reason, lost all your money. It's not the fact that you don't want to give him money, but you don't have money anymore to give to him,
Mm.
and see what will happen.
Okay.
So I told her this, and then it took like 1 or 2 hours after she was coming upstairs to me. She was crying
Oh wow.
and she hugged me. I said, What happened? Then she told me that she wrote that, and after seeing her message on Facebook, he blocked her.
Oh, he blocked her.
He blocked her.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
She was coming to me to use my phone to call him because she was blocked on his phone.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So he blocked her on social media, then he blocked her on his phone.
Yes.
So she cannot get in touch with him. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, throughout the years, for 10 years, his attitude changed as soon as the money dried out from
Exactly.
Amy.
Yes.
Okay. So what happened next? Now, we're in Morocco. This is 2020, almost the pandemic hit. What happens?
Okay, what happens? Amy was stuck for a few weeks. It was like 2 months that she was stuck in Morocco because borders were
Yeah,
closed.
closed.
She
Yeah.
was in my apartment. She got COVID. She was sick. We were together for so long. We became like very good friends. Even we are like a different age, but she was very close to me, and I loved her so so much. I was trying all my ways to make the thing look better. Even I know it's 10 years, like
Yeah.
it
It's a long
was
time.
horrible, and she finally discovered this. So it was a bit hard, but then she was there, and then when borders were open back, she had to leave Morocco, of course, because of the visa.
Yeah.
But I knew that she loved Morocco. Out of him, she was in love with Morocco too. She was leaving and she was telling me, I'm going to keep some stuff, like half of my stuff here because I'm coming back. I will be
Mm.
back. I don't like California. I'm going to be here. Because that was after her retirement. So she was
Yeah. Wow.
only there to see her sons and come back. So she left. A few months later, she was telling me that she was sick, feeling a little sick. She was waiting only for the borders to be reopened to come back, but it did not happen. And by the time that it happened, she was more sick, feeling more sick. Then she discovered that she had the cancer. Then she had to go for a clinic for chemotherapy and the process. So
Yes.
it was fast. It was fast. It seemed to be very serious and big because they made her stay there for a few months. It was like 6 or 7 months. So
Oh
it's
wow.
something that she discovered very late.
Mm.
Oh, I don't know if I remember, but my last time, or our last call was maybe 2 or 3 weeks before she died. Amy died. Um, 2 or 3 weeks before, she was asking about him. She was asking me to ask him to call her because she would like to hear his voice because she was feeling like very weak and
Yeah. She's
I don't know.
I
She was
got
she
you.
was feeling like very sick and she
Mm.
wanted. to hear his voice. I did like a big effort to find his contact, and I called him and I told him that Amy is sick and that she would like you to call her. Then, yeah, it was just a big shock that he refused even to say this, okay?
Oh, wow.
And he called her like an annoying person. He said like, she's annoying me, I don't have time, things like that. Even a very bad word he said about her. So I don't want to say this, but it was very rude. It was not nice. And he did not even believe that she is sick. He said the few times she was pretending like sick. So he did not accept to call her. And after this, I was not able to call with her because of her situation.
It
Only a
got
friend
worse.
in common
Mm.
told me that she has her phone. Yeah, I don't know. It's less than 1 week and a half later that I knew that she died. I was
Mm.
shocked. I was very sad, but I don't know.
That's
Uh,
really, really sad.
Yep.
It's a very touching
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
It's a horrible ending to something that started very
it's not.
innocent.
It's not
Unfortunately,
nice. It's
yeah,
not nice at all
yeah,
toward her because she was a very nice person. She was a very nice soul. I knew that she loves to help him because she felt like he needs help, but I really don't even or can't believe that someone can
yeah,
do this to someone that really helped. It's unbelievable.
mm,
And I just
Yeah.
hate it, and I don't like any other women to get the same, whatever from a Moroccan or another. It's crazy. It's horrible to wear the woman
yeah,
emotions. Yeah,
yeah. We all feel the same way.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's you're not losing a few bucks. You're not losing 10,
Yes.
500, 200, $1,000. It's a loss of a life. It's just it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. So I'm I'm just gonna um, go to you, Sam, and ask what are your thoughts, because I know we've been to Mirzuga. We've had this conversation many, many, many times. You know, during the summer,
Yes.
before the summer, a year ago, every year we talk about this all the time. Can you share some of your stories? If we can help one person,
Yeah.
I think we have done
Yeah.
our duty as ambassadors to Morocco. These things are very difficult for us to talk about because they are negative. We love Morocco so much. We love the tourists. We love the travelers that go to
Yes.
Morocco, and we want them to be prepared what to look for. You know, not to go in somebody's innocent, naive, good-hearted person, and somebody takes advantage of you. Somebody changes your life forever in the most horrific way. So, Sam, what are your thoughts, please?
Okay. It's we have to tell our audience the truth about all these dangerous scams because this is, as you said, our duty towards our travelers because we love the country and we want people to be aware and not to fall in the same mistakes or some big scams like this one. I just want to talk about something especially happening every time in the Sahara Desert, especially. Many clients they have thousands of stories about this, but just I will mention one of them. The guy just invited the lady. She was traveling with him with her two daughters and in the desert in Merzouga exactly, he invites her to a Berber massage. There is nothing exists named or called Berber massage. There is no Berber massage, by the way. So he invited her, and she believed him. And in a tent, he did like massage. I don't know what's happened inside the tent. And I don't want to tell our audience about this. Then what's next? It's the same story. He took her to a family, which is not his family. It's a nomad family. He paid them the money to tell the clients that this is my family,
Oh, to
this is
lie.
my family members, the kids, showing him the kids. Where are you living? I live with my parents here
Oh,
in the
wow.
in the tents as a nomad. It touched her emotionally, and she believed him. Then when they finished the tour, he said, "Okay, you know where I'm living. I'm just a driver. I'm just working for a company, and they didn't pay me. They just pay me like $150 a month, and they have to do all this job every
Mm,
day, and so on and so forth." Then she traveled back to US. She kept in touch with him, and afterward just texting messages and sad love stories, blah blah blah. Then he asked her, my family needs to buy an apartment or just to move for a house or some stuff. She sent him the money. Okay. Then after like 6 months, she came back to Morocco, and he suggested to her to help him to have his own car,
Oh wow.
not
So
to working for
she
somebody
bought
else.
the apartment. Now he's asking for the
Yes.
car.
Yeah,
Okay.
for the car. This is what she did. She bought him a car,
Oh
and
wow.
she suggested to him, I can help you more. You can create an agency, a transportation agency. Then she sent him like $500,000.
Oh my God.
Yes,
Hold on.
thousand
$500,000. We're talking
dollars,
US dollars.
US dollars.
$500,000.
Yes, $500,000.
Oh wow.
Because he knows that she is very rich, and he has like 2 or 3 businesses there. I don't remember exactly how many businesses, her own businesses in US. She is very rich. She is divorced.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So then he said, okay, we can create agency and we can work together. I can send you my friends and clients, travelers, tourists from United States, and you can work. We can work together even if you want. Yeah, he said, okay. He created his own agency on his name. Then after like 2 years, when she came back to Morocco, because she stopped, as Siham said, is that she's texting him. I said, oh no, I am working. I don't have time. I have to manage everything and stuff. Little by little, it's just get out of her. And then she came to Morocco, and she found that there is no agencies, there is
Oh
no
wow.
cars, and he just spent all the money, and most of it he gave it to his real family, not the nomad's family, by the way. And he created like very beautiful house, like for $200,000.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and she didn't believe because she never signed a paper with him. She never created an agency with him, and she scammed.
She's out of luck. How old was she versus him?
He was 27, and she was like 62. 62.
62. Oh wow. So
Yes, yes, a
this is
huge.
unbelievable. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I want to add something else, Sam and Siham, and this is I live in the US and I visit Morocco really whenever I have a chance to. I love visiting Morocco. It's just beautiful. But the thing is, anywhere I go, Sam, I don't go by myself for many reasons. So when we go and whether we're in the square or talking to somebody, they look at me and they say, "You're from the US." And those people are beyond super smart. They can qualify you
Yes,
in
yes,
nanoseconds. They know where you're coming from, the way you dress, the way you talk. Thank you, you say, please, the way you talk. They
exactly.
qualify. They know you're from the US, you're from
It's like
Canada, you're from Europe.
it's
So
kind
it's
of
no
yeah,
surprise, exactly, no surprise to what you have been saying. The same thing with Siham. They know how to qualify you. They know to ask the right questions. And when they ask
Yeah,
you a question, it's very specific. There's a reasoning
yeah,
behind it. Then
yeah,
they ask you this question depending on the way you respond. Then they'll ask you a follow up question. So they know you are the perfect target for them. So they
yeah,
will single you out and they have the patience. They have all the patience in the world to take advantage of you. And you're completely unaware of what's unfolding in front of your eyes and you don't see it. You're about to witness one of the biggest scams in your life.
yeah.
Yeah.
The most common questions or the first questions they're gonna start asking, where are you from?
Yeah.
Is it your first time to Morocco?
Yeah.
What is your job?
Yeah. What's
Oh,
your
do you have
profession?
kids? How many kids you have? Are you married? Things like that. So
Yeah.
these 5 questions actually says everything. All your financial, your social
Yeah.
situations, and also your situation in Morocco if you're new, if you don't know
Yeah.
anything about Morocco yet.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we take it back to you, Siham. What else would you like to share with us in the audience, please?
Well, I noted like 3 other stories, but just want to mention that I'm not here to talk about only negative or saying that all Moroccans are like mean and gonna use you or gonna try this way with you. Just be aware. Moroccans are in general are very nice, friendly. They're gonna help you. People are generous. Okay, this is values that as Moroccans we all have. them. Okay, so these are exceptions, especially when we're talking about tourist zones. I would always underline Marrakesh and desert. Those are the most top attractions for tourists in Morocco, and that's why we will see them a lot right
Mm.
there. We don't want to anyone hate Morocco or Moroccans because such a stupid, that's what I call them,
Yeah.
examples like this, okay? So I'm going to talk about another friend. Apologize, I don't want to speak about names, okay? Because well, I spoke about Amy because she died, and so just very special and dear friend of me. So I didn't even feel nice to call her she. I'm getting back to talk about another story, and this time I won't say names because all of them are my friends, and I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings because most of those victims, I'm calling them victims, they would never um, know or feel that they are victims of that person.
Yeah.
They always feel in all the time that they are in a very big love story, and they don't see what I or anyone else can see. So I have a friend, she was also first as a client, and the same intention was that she was regularly coming. She was from Europe, and for the flights, the cheap flights, and the distance is not so long, she was coming at least once per month. When we started to have a little friendship between us, started to talk about things, I was asking why she was coming, because she loves Morocco, or and then she started again to talk about her love story that was at least 6 years with someone from a
Wow.
desert, but not the same desert. It's a different one. It's the Southern Sahara Desert. She met him in a fancy hotel. He was a sport coach there.
Mm.
She fell in love with him. Again, we are talking about almost the same ages. She was 50 when she met him. He was like a 22, 23.
Oh, wow.
She liked him, and she was coming back to visit him every almost once per month. Almost once per month. The last time she was here was last August, last year,
Mm.
2023. That was her maybe fourth time that she stayed at my apartment. She was there, and I noticed that she was sad. She was coming upstairs. She was calling me if I can go walk with her because she's feeling lonely and things.
Mm.
And then during the walk, she was telling me that he is working full time. They have many clients in the hotel. He cannot get out of it and whatever, or he could not come to meet
Mm.
her. And she was sad because she had three kids, one 16 years old teenager that is special needs, that really needs her, and she's divorced. She was living all that
Oh,
difficult
wow.
life and responsibilities, leaving her work, she's a teacher, and coming just to visit him while he was just busy to get out of the hotel and come meeting her. And when she was telling me that, she was believing it. She was out the poor, he has to work, she believes.
So she trusted everything he said, that
she,
if
she, she
he doesn't
trusted.
have time off, he cannot get time off for her to
Yeah.
see her, to meet,
Yeah,
and
she was
catch up.
only sad that he cannot come, but
I
she did
see.
not even expect another thing. For
Mm.
me, I can't be sure, but I was expecting that probably it's done, probably it's over
The relationship.
for him, because there
Yes.
is always a delay. It's always a delay of getting what they want.
Mm.
Most of the time, is financially.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was that was a Friday, and then Saturday the same thing. Her Sunday was the last day because she has to be back for work on
To work.
Monday. Her
Yeah.
flight was at 6 a.m. on Monday. So on Saturday we had to say goodbye because I was going with some clients for a tour to Essaouira, which
Mm.
is 3 hours out of Marrakesh. I told her for the checkout, just leave the keys inside and close the door. Everything was normal. It was the Sunday morning. I left. It was like about midday. Just arrived to Essaouira. I had a call. There were police
Oh, wow.
asking about
So
her
the
name.
police.
Yes, police
The
called
police
me.
called you. Wow.
Siham, I said yes. And then they asked me, "Oh, do you have a friend or a guest that call her name?" I said yes. They asked me if she's staying at my house. I said yes. And then he told me that someone stole her bag.
So she got mugged and her handbag got stolen.
Yes. And the way was also a little aggressive because someone tried to get the bag. She did not let it go, so she fall on the floor.
Oh wow.
Her yeah, and then she was there like in shock because the bag has everything, like
Oh wow.
her passport, her bank cards,
Cash.
yeah, her cash, her keys. That was the only one way to get to the apartment. So they took everything in the bag. And then when police came, they took her to the police
Station.
office. Yeah, they called me from their number, of course. But when they called me, they were asking me to come to
To the
open the door
station.
for her. Yes, because she had, I think, her driving license or someone that proved her ID.
Oh, I see.
Okay, in the
Okay.
apartment, and she doesn't have any more the access. So then
Yes.
I had to come back from my tour to Marrakesh, which is another problem.
First, go to the apartment, retrieve her driver's license, then go to the police station to show that she is who she's saying she is. And she got mugged and she got physically hurt.
Yes, that's it.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So I was here by 3 p.m. or so. She was still in the office, didn't eat all the day. I arrived there, she was crying. She was scared, she was shocked. She couldn't even have telling me a word because she was just crying so bad. When she saw me, she just hugged me and she was crying and crying. And then I was trying to tell her that this could happen to anyone. Don't take it personal. It could happen to a Moroccan. I was trying to make her not feel that bad.
Yes. Yeah.
And then when the time that she could take a breath and finally say something, she was telling me that I'm not crying because
She got
of,
mugged.
yeah. She told me I'm crying because he's lying. I said, who is lying? And then she said his name. And then she said that to call me when police came to call me, she did not have, of course, my number that was on her phone that was stolen.
Yes.
So police were asking her if she know anyone in common that have my contact. She knows only him. She knows only him. So she said to the, okay, I have a friend that one time I called see him from his phone, so he has her number. They asked her if she knows the address. She said, yes, he's working in that hotel and that he is there all time because he works there full time. So then police drove her to the hotel all the way to outside the city, looking to find that person that works in that hotel because she said that he is there. She was sure that he is there working because her last morning in Marrakesh, she really wanted to meet him. And she said, she was asking in the morning, can't you find just 1 hour to see you before I
Yeah.
leave?
Wow.
He was saying, sorry, they don't allow me to go. I have to work. I'm working. So police drove her to the hotel. When police asked about his name, it was quick. It's police, right? So it was quick that he was just out.
So he
He
came
li-
out. He came out
he came
quick.
out and he was not working. He was like with a short.
Off.
He was sleeping.
So it's his day off.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he was just taking a rest on the Sunday while she was asking him just to come to meet her. And she was telling all the time that he was working and he is poor and that he cannot eat very well because of the much work. That's what she was telling me about his situation. So he was there and he looked like a normal person, not hungry, not sick, not even working. It was his off. So she forgot even about what happened in the street. She was only sad and shocked about that.
Wow.
But at least this
Wow.
happened. At least this happened to that she woke up.
Yeah.
I'm happy that this happened to her, not waiting for another 10 years to be dying. And it's
Yes.
like it's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then I told her, okay, be happy because now you know.
Yes.
Now you know. So she struggled. That all the trip to Morocco or to Marrakesh was for him.
So,
She lost all her papers, all her money. I lended her money. I bought her like a small phone to be in contact with me because she had to go to Casablanca for the embassy of her country.
quick question. So
Yeah,
basically, she lost everything on Sunday.
yeah,
Monday morning, she had to catch a flight. out of
At six.
Casablanca airport at 6 in the morning. So she has to leave Marrakesh. She has to be at the airport in Casablanca about 4 a.m. So she needs to leave Marrakesh, maybe around 2 a.m. or so.
Mm.
How could she? I mean, obviously she's going to miss her flight.
She did.
Yeah.
Now
So
what
with no
happened?
passport, no
Yeah,
nothing.
so
Can you walk
she lost, of
us?
course, lost the flight and had to go to Casablanca. She was there with no money.
Yeah. Oh
She
wow.
was with no money. She had to travel to another city and find a hotel and go for all these documents and papers that she doesn't even know how to do it by herself. So it was a very big problem. Also for her work, she was, I think it took like 2 days to be able to find her a flight back home.
Oh wow.
So it was a very big problem, but it was good. I would say it's good because that was something
Wake
that
up call.
opened, yes, to open the eye. Okay, here you are. So even the story is bad, but it was good.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing.
always.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
always.
just it's
Yeah, inside the bad things, there is always good things.
the
Yeah,
silver lining, yes, and it's just sad story. So there's so
yeah,
many of these stories, and again, just to confirm what Siham said, we love Morocco. We love tourists to go to Morocco. We love travelers to go to Morocco, but we want you to be aware of things that may go wrong, just in case. This is the third time that we talk about scams. That's how important it is to us. We did the first episode 2 years ago, was episode number 4, and to this day I still get thank you messages, thank you emails, DMs, because of that episode, because somebody say, hey, that saved me a lot of money, me and my family. You prevented the scam from happening to me, whatever it is, how small or big it is. So that's what really, really pushed us in a way to say, hey, we can do more. We can share more. We can give more to the audience. Siham, I'm very grateful for you. Thank you for sharing these painful experiences. I know it didn't happen to you, but you are touched by them. We are touched by them as well, because those are your friends. They are not your clients.
yes,
They are not tourists. They are not visitors, but they are your friends.
Yeah, we would feel sorry about this if it happened to anyone, even if it's not a friend, even someone
Yeah.
that you just hear about. You don't know these
Yes.
people, right? But you feel
Absolutely.
bad. This is
Of
bad. This is
course.
not
Yeah.
nice.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
When a visitor come to Morocco, it's because they love Morocco.
Yeah.
We don't want guys to make anyone hate it.
Yeah.
There's many nice. A
Yes.
97% of Moroccans are very nice. We don't want
Yes.
everybody to look like bad because of one or two
yes.
Yeah.
horrible.
100%. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Sam, I know you have a lot of stuff to say,
The
so I'm
f-
going to go up to you
Yes,
next, please.
yeah. I just want to mention a very short story because I remember it was like 2011. A lady from Riyadh called me, Sam, could you just please come because someone is just calling me and a lady, she speaks Spanish. I don't know what she is saying. Okay, I said okay, I will be there. Then I went to the Riyadh and okay, lady called me on WhatsApp. She gave me the phone. Okay, hola, ¿cómo estás? And said me your name, Hassan. Estás en cárcel? I said, who is Hassan? What's going on? What's wrong? She said that's Hassan, her boyfriend or her friend or
Oh,
her
wow.
love is
Oh,
in jail.
oh my goodness.
I said, okay, just hold on. She said, okay, I will send you his name, his full name exactly, and I will send you his phone number because his friend said that Hassan is in jail and he needs money.
Oh, wow.
I said, okay, okay, just give me a few minutes and then I will tell the lady to call you back to explain to you what's happened. Okay. And they called that number. I said, hello, hello, who is this? Who is this? Please, I just want to ask about Hassan, if he's okay, why he is in jail, what's going on, what's happened. He said, no, Hassan is not in jail, he is in a tour. I said, what?
Oh, wow.
No, he's in a tour. He's driving, and I'm his friend. How can I help you? I said, okay, thank you very much. I don't need any help. Then I blocked his phone number because he will keep bothering me.
Yeah.
Okay, I blocked him. I called back to the lady. I said, what's going on? Oh no, he's my boyfriend for years, and they gave him the money, and they bought him a car,
Oh, wow.
and now his friend telling me that he is in jail because he needs money. I said, no, no, no. Hassan is not in jail. He's in a tour in Morocco and he is in good health. She said, what? Yes, yes. His friend told me that.
Wow.
because I speak with him in Berber, and he trusted me. He told me the truth,
Wow.
and I was really shocked. And then she said, "Oh, muchas gracias, señor. I really appreciate your help." Now she just discovered that he just
Scam.
mugged, scammed
Yeah.
by him. He wanted to get rid of her. Then he invented this story of going to jail, and he needs more money from her.
No. So it's always the same story. If you look at all these scams, there's like a script. This is how it starts. This is the
Yes,
middle of it, and then the end. It's almost similar to each
yes,
one.
yes,
Sam, thank you for your point. It's a really, really good point. Thank you for sharing that. So I know there's so many other stories that hopefully we'll have the time to get through. So we're going to circle back to Siham. I know you have something else that you want to share with the audience, but this story is a little different than the first ones that you have shared with us.
Yeah, thank you. So I still have actually not one but two stories that are the difference that they are like new. They are currently continue to have happening. You know.
So we're
So
we are in the middle of those stories. They haven't ended yet. Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes. So one of them is a woman, the same, but one is a man. Okay. So
Okay.
I start with the woman because she is also a very good, or maybe let's say she was a very good friend of me. I guess that Hussein also knows her because we met one time. I introduced him to her, and she's a very nice person. Again, because I mean, all the people are talking about are actually nice. That's the problem. They're
yes,
just nice.
yes.
They are nice. They are innocent. She was getting divorced when she came to Morocco for the first time. That was like almost 2 years ago. She came for the first time. She was looking about a nice, interesting trip to get out of the sadness of all what is
I see.
what she was living. She was thinking about Morocco, but none of her friends wanted to join. Some of
Okay.
them was working, some of them didn't like the idea to come here, so whatever. She really wanted to come, so she was looking and searching about anyone that can organize her trip and help her guide her around because she was a bit worried and never been here. That was she said to me afterward. How did she find me? She was looking for a woman tour leader that can help her organizing her trip. So she found me. It was very fast. She asked me if she can come. I said okay. She asked my number. I gave my number. She very fast called me on WhatsApp. She was, I mean, from the way how she very fast called me and started to talk about everything, for me it was like two things. Is it a very innocent person or is it a scam? Because these scams also can happen for us also as
Yes, of course. Yeah, businesses. Yeah.
Yes,
businesses or I
Yeah.
mean organizing any trips or tours. This could happen for the host as it can happen for the client or the
Yeah.
visitor. So I was just giving myself a little opportunity to analyze the personality. Then very quickly I could feel that she's that innocent,
Oh wow.
very transparent.
Wow.
yeah,
I mean, all the suggestions I was giving her, she was like, she liked them. She liked the trip. She liked the itinerary. She liked the accommodation. Everything was very smooth and nice. And I felt how much innocent she was because she did not really search about anything I was giving her. And then I was inside me thinking, oh, I'm so happy that this person contacted me and she
Yeah.
did not meet any
Scammers.
yeah,
scammers on or
yes,
unprofessional tour leaders or how they call themselves agencies, whatever that they are, like so many now. So I provided her with 1 day trip in Morocco, based in Marrakesh. We did a couple of day trips and stuff. It was during not last
I see.
Ramadan, the Ramadan before. So now it's 2 years, obviously. It was Ramadan, so it was very special atmosphere. I was introducing her also to the Marrakesh in Ramadan, and
Yeah.
I invited her a couple of times to my place. I mean, it was just so cool. So all the experience actually made her love in Morocco. And very quickly, she decided to be back. In like less than 2 months, she was back. And this time, she
Oh
was
wow.
asking me to organize a special trip for her 50th birthday.
50th birthday. Oh wow.
Yes.
Hmm.
That birthday, she was planning to have it as a very big party back to her country. And at that time, I was just started to know that she is an important person in her
Hmm.
country.
I see.
Okay. So she was inviting many people to the party. It was like hundreds of people. It was a quite big party.
Hmm.
So she told me that she decided to cancel that big party and come back to Morocco. And she wanted me to organize her
Oh,
birthday
wow.
trip because she, for the first time, felt that she was happy. She
Oh,
liked the
wow.
weather, she liked the people, she liked the culture, she likes the care. She felt everything like real. She likes the
Yeah.
vibes, the energy in here. So I did like my best to organize such a very unique and nice trip for her birthday. The day or the night of her birthday, it was in a fancy restaurant providing shows beside the dinner,
Mm.
like ballet dancers, music, things like that. So she loved all the things, the party and things. When we were living, she told me that the guy was at the entry of that fancy restaurant is very handsome and she wanted to take a picture with him. He was tall, he was beautiful. She stopped to take a picture and very fast he asked her to get his Instagram so she can
Mm.
share the picture
I
that she
see.
took with him.
Okay.
Okay. That's all what happened that night. Afterward, it took like 3 days after we did a couple of other trips and then she left Morocco. Everything was normal. And then a few weeks later, we were talking because we became friends. And she was telling me that she was in contact with that guy that was a guard, security guard.
Yes.
And she started to talk about how nice he is and things like that. She was 50 and he was 26 years old. He's
Mm.
from the desert as well. Few weeks later again, every time she would talk about him, she started to tell me the type of stories that I mentioned before.
Wow. Same
He,
stories.
he's coming from a poor family. He's working hard to support his family. He did not go to school because he needed to work very early. All the stories that I've heard tons and tons of times before. So for me, when she was telling me this and feeling sorry of him, my analysis was quite different than what she was
Yeah.
saying. But
Yes.
I've never been able to tell her this because also the way how to tell it was like, well, I have also to wait because things
Yes.
happen.
Yeah,
Probably
of
it's
course.
love. Probably it's a nice person. I don't have the right to say he's not, right? So I was like listening just to her stories, and okay, I could not say anything about it. It took few months, like maybe 1 or 2 months, and then she was telling me that she's gonna be back.
Oh, wow.
Okay, she was back. For the third time, I organized her trip, but this time she asked me for a day free or a free day. That free
I
day, she
see.
wanted to meet that person for
Mm.
sure.
Okay.
She met that person after that night, day, because he actually works the night. It
Mm.
was a day. She met him the day. Then she was just coming back with like full of love. Like,
Oh, wow.
I love him. He's nice. He's sweet. Okay. After that trip, every time I call or she calls me, it was like more and more romantic. He's always nicer stories. Few weeks later, she started to tell me that he's suffering. The
Mm.
job in the night it's quite difficult. He's not paid well. He's renting a room with other friends that works in the day, and he has only the day to sleep because he works the night. So they are making noise and they don't let him sleep. So he is
Yeah.
struggling with that. Okay, I knew what he was preparing her for. I knew,
You've been
but
there before. Yeah.
I could not tell her. But actually, it happened even before she talked about it again. One time we were calling and she said that she was already sending him money to
Oh,
rent an
wow.
apartment by his own.
By
With
himself. Okay.
yes,
Wow.
Wow.
and actually, the place where he was renting the apartment it was quite fancy, not
Oh my
cheap at
God.
all.
Oh,
Ah,
yeah.
So there the story started. There I started to feel the danger for her. And I knew since started to pay for something,
yeah.
he will never let her go.
Okay.
So I started slowly sometimes to tell her few things about stories happened. I didn't want to talk about him
Mm.
specifically, but just I tried to open a little her eyes about few things that could happen, like not give money. I was trying to ask about this, not to give money. What happened is that somehow that person felt that I was telling her this, awareing her.
Mm.
So then it turns out to be that person started to say bad things about me to her.
So basically, what you're saying is you didn't want to tell your friend directly what's going on to her, what's happening, because you've seen this, you've witnessed it in the past, and it's the same trend. The
Yeah.
road that she's going, eventually, it's going to lead to her being heartbroken. It's going to lead to her giving away or losing a lot of money. But you felt you don't have the right to tell her as a friend directly. So you just start saying, hey, let me tell you a story. Or a friend of mine, this is what happened to her and this, but she was not listening. But then the gentleman find out that you're in the picture and now
Mhm.
he's trying to get rid of you.
Yeah. Well, so I started sometimes to hear things like she was like joking, telling me that, but I knew it was serious. Like telling me, "Oh, I think that he is jealous of you. He will never
Mm,
be jealous of me because I am her friend."
yeah.
Right? So for me, this gave me the sign that he's maybe trying to tell her something about me. He shows her that he is not comfortable that she sees me a lot because he felt that I am
You're going to mess up his
preparing her
plan.
to
Yeah.
anything that could happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
you're warning her. Yeah, yeah.
yes. So what happened for the next trips? She would never book anything with me.
Oh,
Like
wow.
the trips that I used to organize for her, she doesn't do it with me anymore. So she's telling me, "Oh, I'm coming on that this date. I am going to stay in that hotel."
Oh,
Before she
wow.
was asking me like, "Where can I stay?" and things like that. So this time she started to do things. I know she won't be doing them by her own because she was
Yeah.
still like don't know anything in Morocco
Yeah,
because
of
I've been with
course.
her all the time.
Yeah.
So I knew that it was him guiding her right, what to do, where to stay. She would never book even transportation with me because he was renting a car, a
Oh,
fancy
wow.
car when she is here, driving her
Mm,
around. Okay. So it started to be serious and serious and serious. The last trip, she was in Morocco. He took her, it was like his vacation. So he took her to a tour, that tour to the desert. She still didn't visit the desert yet. We did
mm,
like the Agafay Desert, which is close to Marrakesh, because of the tight time that she had the previous times. And we were, me together, we were planning to visit the desert, Sahara Desert. And she
mm.
was like looking forward to visit the Sahara Desert
Oh, wow.
together and have fun. So she decided suddenly to do the Sahara Desert tour with him. Okay.
Oh, wow.
I was already out, right? On that tour, it was the magic.
Yeah.
Taken her to Tinghir, to his family, see his sister, his parents, taken her to buy stuff there and suddenly being the queen and king of the desert.
Mm,
That's it. That's
mm.
how it was called, right? Like for us, it looks like a joke, right? But it was very serious. I mean, when my friend was telling me those things, I could feel the love coming out of her eyes and
Yeah.
feelings full of nice energy, nice memories for that trip.
Yeah.
That for me, I knew them. I heard them hundreds of times, but it was completely new for her.
Yeah.
The
This,
beginning of the scam. Yeah,
yeah, was
yeah,
making me feeling bad, and every time I was feeling more bad. So I wanted to do something before it's also taking long and
Yeah. Too late.
yes.
yeah, and using her more. So I was feeling like it's a responsibility. I have to say this to her. So the opportunity was a following visit after that tour that they together did to the desert. We were having dinner.
Yeah.
The dinner was always, almost of the time, talking about him, how nice he is, how handsome he is, and all this stuff. But then I discovered afterward that I was there for that dinners to take some few pictures and videos to show to friends and family back home
Oh,
because
I
I
see.
was the reason for her to come back to Morocco. She was
Oh,
uh,
she's using you basically.
a kind of using me because I
Yes.
just
Yes.
noticed after the third time I noticed when we were on dinner, she's always like, "Here I am, this is Siham," right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I did not like that. So I decided to just tell her what I have inside about it and what is my opinion about it and what is my fear about it. And I said, okay, that's the time. I don't want to be a bad friend. I am a
Yeah.
good friend. It is a responsibility to tell you. I just started to talk about Amy's stories.
Mm,
She understood what I was start to talk about. Then she told me Okay. My friend, I am 20 years older than you. So I know much more than you know. My experience in life is 20 years older than yours. So I know what I'm doing. I love him. I'm so happy. Even what you're saying to me happened, I will be okay. Because one
Wow.
hour, yes, because 1 hour of the love he's giving me now is going to be enough for the rest of life.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
was I was shocked. I said,
Wow.
sorry.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I will never talk about this again. That's all what I said from that day to now. And I'm waiting only for the day that she will call me and maybe again crying or saying to me anything because of the things you heard before. I'm preparing for that day. I
Yes.
know it's
Wow.
coming, but since it's still nice, since it's still given, booking fancy
Yeah.
hotels with two
Spending money.
rooms. Yeah, with two rooms.
Okay, let me ask you the question is this is really, really important because the reason why you said two rooms, can you explain to us how the system is in Morocco versus one room? They're, obviously they are a couple, they are not married yet, but in Morocco, why can't they just get one room versus two rooms?
So in hotels, Riyadh, you can't rent a room if you're unmarried couple, let's say.
Mm,
Unmarried couples cannot rent one room in a hotel. It's illegal.
okay,
Okay. So for
that's
these
why.
cases,
Mm,
yeah, for these cases that people will have to book two
two.
rooms in hotels, like each name is in a different room.
Yeah,
So they are legal. And then of course one room is going to be empty while they are
yeah,
in
of
one.
course.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What
The
if you are a
religion.
Moroccan, for example, a Moroccan gentleman with a traveler, a foreigner traveler, you can't book same room in the hotel. Same things for women and men.
But if you're a tourist, you're fine.
If
You're
you
a
are a
traveler,
tourist,
you're
yeah,
fine.
yeah, even
Yeah,
you are not married, you are just friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, you can enjoy your,
thank
yeah,
you.
your stay. Yeah.
Thank you for that. That's really important. Thank you for clarifying it. So back to you, Siham. Can you share one last story with us, please? I know this one is going to be different. Maybe surprised, but I want you to be as transparent as possible and share as much as you can. Please do not hold back.
Thank you. So, well, the story I don't have a lot of details to say about, but it's just the main thing, like the fact. The first different thing is actually it's about a man, but it's a kind of the same way. Now we are talking about a man with another man, Moroccan.
So, gay man.
Yes. So this person for me looks like very, also very nice hearted person. He's a little naive. I say naive because his pocket and phone was stolen like 3 times.
Oh my goodness.
Every time he's coming back to Marrakesh, they are stealing his things, and that's why we were saying at the beginning that people really can
Profile.
analyze you.
They
Yeah,
profile you.
can know
Yeah.
you. Yeah, when you look like not really like aware about the things about the culture, they're gonna follow you in many ways. So this person got stolen 3 times or maybe more. And then he decided that Essaouira is less hectic than Marrakesh.
Mm.
So he started to go to Essaouira few times. There he met that person.
Moroccan
And
guy.
yes, he's keeping coming to see that guy. And what I heard yesterday from him that he was coming back because he's helping him fixing and getting his visa to join him back to his country in
Mm.
Europe. So it's getting also serious, and
Serious. Yeah.
we can clearly see here the reason is leaving Morocco, and this is also a way to be in love and just calm those people with
Yeah.
those emotions. Yeah.
So basically, what you're saying, Siham, this young man in Essaouira is just using the gentleman
Mhm.
as a ticket to get out of the country, to get out of Morocco, for whatever reason, just better life, doesn't matter. And this is how the scam basically is unfolding now. We've talked
Mhm.
about this happening to women in several cases, but this is a little bit different and this is unique. So when we talk about, I'm going to veer off a little bit of the subject and come back to it. So when we talk about Morocco and then when we talk about the gay community and LGBT, a lot of people when they go to Morocco they are really shocked. There's women together, there's men together. It's a lot more common than people think. They have the perception of Morocco. If you're gay, this will happen to you. None of it is true. You go for a stroll in the square, 10 minutes, you'll probably see dozens of gay men gay women. It's very common. So I'm gonna come back to your story, Siham. So just wanted to give a little bit of idea, a little bit of, hopefully changing the perception of what a lot of people think and believe what Morocco is versus the true reality. There are places that you can go. There's just gay people.
By the way, just yesterday told me that he's getting many messages and requests from other guys. And
Yes.
he said to me that they were very young. He said, they are very young. I don't know what they want from me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
He's
then
very naive.
he was talking about a 19 and a 20 years old.
Yeah. Yes.
This is 56 about, and the guy in Sawira is 24 again.
Oh wow. So
So we're
this
talking
the
always
same.
at the average,
My God.
yes.
Yeah. The same
Just
gap we're talking. Yes.
So I don't have a lot of details like how it happened or how it started, or
Or how
even
they
don't have
met.
any idea how it's going to end.
Hmm.
But all what I know is that person is really in love. And if each time he's in Morocco or talking to me, he's talking about that person and how nice he is and that he miss him. Like now, yesterday, he spent like 3 days in Marrakesh, and he's going to go to Essaouira for a week to spend time with his boyfriend. But this time also he was bringing two of his friends and mom to introduce them to his boyfriend.
So this is really
Yeah.
serious.
It's
Yeah.
getting
He's yeah.
serious. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It sounds like a love story.
And
Hopefully. Yeah.
yeah, and again, also I received messages from him asking me if I can find a job for his boyfriend
Oh
because he
wow.
cannot. Yes, I have those messages as well. He said, "Can you please find him a job?" And then I said, "What can he do? What is his studies for or qualifications?" He said, "Oh, he has a diploma in as a plumber. He has a diploma in tourism, I think cuisine or something like that, but he cannot find a job." And he needs help, and I am almost over with my money. I'm sending him money, so means also he's sending him money because he's pretending he doesn't have work, and he needs help. And he was a kind of tired maybe of sending money and trying to get him a job. But I knew that it's not hard to find a job if you have this type of diplomas in
Yeah.
Marrakesh, especially because we really need these two things. If you're working for tourism as a cook, if you have a
Yes.
diploma, or if you have a diploma as a plumber, you're gonna definitely get
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. Especially in Sawara instead of Marrakesh. Yeah. He's from Sawara.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's aware as well.
Yeah.
So it's a bit weird to hear this. Yeah.
Those are all red flags. So wow.
yeah. So he's
Okay.
using him like a bridge to get out
Yeah.
of the country and to go to live
Yeah.
abroad, and
Yes.
then he will get out of him. Same stories, yeah.
Yeah. It's really really unfortunate.
I just want to say a small sentence for all travelers to Morocco, and especially women. Please be careful. Morocco is so beautiful. We want you just to have an amazing time here. Moroccans are in general very nice and friendly, but please be careful. There is always signs. Just be clever, prepare, never send money to anyone for any reason. There's always solutions.
Yeah.
Okay, as adults we are responsible about ourselves. We all can have hard times. We all sometimes and a lot of times need help, and it doesn't mean that we need to ask someone to send me money. Why I ask someone to send me money? It's clear it's a scam. If someone
Yeah.
is asking to send money, it's just be aware of that. That's what
Thank you. Thank you.
message I want
Sam.
to say.
Yeah, scams, as I said in the other episodes, it's not only in Morocco, it's worldwide. But we just want you to be aware and not to fall in this kind of scams that you can avoid. We want to educate you, telling you the stories that's happened, just to be aware of what's happening and what's going on. Because we don't want you to visit the country and to put it in your bucket list. It's an amazing and incredible country that you have to see at least once in your life.
Yeah,
Thank
and sorry, last thing, to don't be 100% negative. I have a friend who had met someone from Morocco. They got married, and he went to live in the country where she lives. And it has been already like 5 or 6 years ago. And we're still in touch, and she's still saying the same thing about him. He's a nice person. So we are not talking about there is no love stories that can happen, or that the age could be a border, right? It's good,
Yeah.
things can happen. There's always good people, so we are not saying the opposite, but the most of the cases it's a scam.
Yeah.
Okay, there is exceptions.
Yes.
emotions, we can feel them, and we never mix up emotions and financial help. Okay, if you love someone or thinking or feeling that you're loving someone or that one is loving you, just say I don't have money. Okay, let's see what will happen. It's gonna take few time and you're gonna feel it. If it's changing, then it was about money.
Yeah, I
That's
totally
the only
agree.
one way to know. Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. This has been incredible. We have reached the end of this episode. Siham and Sam, I'm so thankful for your willingness to share your experience with us. I'm so grateful to have
Always a
the
pleasure.
opportunity to learn from you today.
Always a
Thank you
Oh,
so
pleasure.
much.
Thank you.
Thank
thanks
you.
for you
You
Thank
too.
you.
Thank
you
you
are
so much.
amazing, and I'm so glad and grateful that my last trip to Morocco, I finally met Siham and we talked about it. So Siham and Sam, they've known each other for a long time. I'm the newbie in a way, and we really, really appreciate you. We appreciate what you do day in and day out. You're a very strong, independent woman,
Thank you.
and this has been incredible. Thank you so much. Talk to you
Thanks
soon.
for you. Thanks for
Thank
you
you.
too.
Escape to the exotic beauty of Morocco with our exclusive small group tours. Experience intimate group sizes that ensure personalized attention and unforgettable adventures. From the enchanting streets of Marrakesh to the serene beauty of the Sahara Desert, forge friendships that last a lifetime while immersing yourself in Morocco's rich culture, vibrant traditions, and warm hospitality. Book your small group tour with Destination Morocco today. Experience the intimacy of a private tour at an affordable price. Go to our website, destinationsmorocco.com. That's destinations with an S, morocco.com, and reserve your spot today.